I used to believe that love was about sacrifice, but I learned the hard way that sometimes you are just funding your own replacement. My story started with a shared dream of escaping the poverty that had haunted our families. Sarah and I were a team, or so I thought. I worked grueling, dust-choked shifts in construction to pay for her elite archaeology degree so she could follow her passion without the crushing weight of debt. I visualized our future with every aching muscle, imagining the family we would one day start. But as her academic world expanded, the distance between us grew cold. I tried to bridge the gap with gifts and devotion, yet the more I gave, the less I received. One night, I returned to an empty home. No goodbye, just a letter on the table. She claimed our life was monotonous and that the spark was gone. The most bitter part? She had fallen for her professor, the very man I had unknowingly paid for her to meet. I hit rock bottom, sobbing on the floor of our hollow apartment, realizing I had financed the education that led her into another man's arms. I almost lost my job in my mind. But in that darkness, I found a cold, iron determination. I decided that if the person I loved was gone, the future I worked for didn't have to be. I moved into a tiny, depressing studio and enrolled in university myself. For years, my life was a relentless, inhuman cycle of manual labor by day and intense study by night. I built a fortress of solitude, refusing to let anyone in, terrified of being discarded again. My focus paid off. A respected professor noticed my drive and invited me into a high-stakes research project. By the time I graduated, that project had turned into a massive commercial success. I went from a broken man with nothing to a partner and board member of a flourishing company with an astronomical income. Then, just as I was finally breathing the air of my success, she appeared. Sarah stood at my door, disheveled and weeping, holding a child. The professor had abandoned her once the adventure turned into real-life responsibility. She looked at my nice clothes and my new life, begging for forgiveness and a second chance. She actually had the audacity to suggest we could finally be the family I once dreamed of. But looking at her, I felt nothing but a weary, clinical disappointment. I saw through the tears. She didn't want me. She wanted the security I had built without her. I gave her enough money to reach her parents' house, told her the child wasn't my burden, and closed the door forever. Today, I am thriving with a woman who actually values me, while Sarah struggles with the consequences of her choices. I realized that the only person you can truly count on to build your world is yourself. I sowed the seeds of perseverance while she chased easy glamour, and in the end, we both reaped exactly what we deserved. If a woman abandons the man who sacrificed everything for her because she was bored, does she deserve even a penny of his success when her exciting new life inevitably crumbles? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Share your thoughts about this story in the comments.